Hello, and welcome to another episode of Teach Now Cribs. Today, I'll be showing you the corner of my classroom with a word wall tree, some flower arrangements, and a delightful reading chart that needs more stickers. However, the focus of today's lesson is not the word wall or any of that. It is, in fact, laws and regulations or policies that affect my daily teaching here in China. I'll be submitting this for my Module 2, Week 1, Activity 2, Assessment 2. Yeah, let's get started. I am going to be talking about the law stating that children have to learn handwriting in a specific font. So much so that it's only counted in that font. And we're told that in 3rd grade they take a test. And if their handwriting is not in the correct font, even if the answers are correct, the words are marked wrong because they weren't written correctly. Now this is a bit mind-blowing for me, coming from America, because we wrote however we wanted. As long as the teacher could read it, the answers were correct. That being said, if you go back far enough to when we learned cursive, there was a specific way that it had to be done. It had to be written in cursive. And I feel like that's probably how this is going to end up. So, the font that we have to write in is Bookman Old Style font, which is fine, looks nice, not too difficult, but it gets better, just wait. It also has to be in italics and bold, which means your font ends up looking about like this. Hey, I wrote that there. So, not only do the kids have to memorize a specific font, but they have to write it in a certain way, and if not, everything gets counted wrong. Which, alright, fine. It isn't the end of the world, and if you think about it, it could be worse. It could be Comic Sans. And it has its roots in cursive. There's some swirlies, and it looks elegant. It looks nice. Here's an example of the font that they have to write. So all of their writing has to be in this exact format. If it's not, then it gets counted wrong. But if we take a look at the storybooks we have in their library, none of these match the font that we're supposed to be teaching them. And the biggest problem I have is here in China, the kids memorize words based on the shapes. So the Chinese alphabet and the Chinese dictionary and the words are all in shapes. I think it's called block letters, block words. But that means that we teach them these words, and then when they come back to read the books, they can't read them because they no longer know what these words are. And as you can see, there are a ton of options for fonts to choose from. So yes, maybe it's best that we choose one specific font to write in. After all, we have hundreds of fonts to choose from in the English language, and I'm told they have the same in Chinese, and yet when we learn Chinese, we learn it in a specific font so that we can get it down. So from that side, I can see the benefits of it. So I guess as long as you practice, they will be able to learn this font and this handwriting for Bookman Old Style, italicized, bold. But that brings me to problem number 2 of awkward rules and regulations and policies that affect our teaching. We can't practice. Another rule that we've been told is that up until 3rd grade, you are not allowed to assign a writing homework activity. You can do it in class, which is fine, and you do. A lot of activities involve writing, but you can't send home any homework that involves writing. All of the homework has to be coloring or tracing or drawing in the lines, so they're not ever able to practice their actual handwriting that they have to know until 3rd grade, which is when they take the test. So it's extremely confusing, because how are they supposed to know this other than the 30-minute classes that you have with them? And those are usually filled up with learning new vocabulary or going over stories or songs or a dozen other activities that you also can't assign for homework. So it's interesting. I'm curious to see what other videos you guys submit and what your thoughts are on this. If anyone has a similar activity. I've heard that in Taiwan there's a similar program that's run in that they have to learn a specific font for all of their handwriting. But I have reached my 5-minute mark, and that's all I've got for you right now. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.